All right, 1,100 paid presentations, and I'm still nervous to speak. In fact, I'm at the Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, guys. Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, my international fitness franchise, and I've had 1,100, just over 1,100 paid keynote presentations, and I'm still nervous to speak, and I want to tell you what it takes to be a public speaker. And I want to first give you a little behind the scenes of what's going on out here in Las Vegas at Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference. So first, real quick, we're going to start off in here. When that giant ballroom is not full of people right now, like it is, this entire area that you see, this is where all of our sponsors are. So if you're running an event, if you're running any kind of event, and you are not having sponsors pay for booths to add value to the lives of your franchisees or your attendees, you are missing out on a lot of money, and you're missing out on a lot of value in terms of for your guests, for your franchisees, etc. So let's take a little sneak peek. I have to be really quiet when I go in here, but let's take a little sneak peek into the Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, and I'll come back out and tell you more stuff.
And I tell you what, friends, over the last almost 10 years, I have learned a thing or two. Obviously, yes.
All right, so let's sneak on out there, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the heck is happening here. So this is a Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, and at the Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, our job is to bring our franchisees together for a once-a-year experience, and this is where we let them know what's going on in our industry, what new moves we're making, where we're opening up new locations around the world, what new systems and processes, because you always have to recreate yourself. And if you think that you're going to create a business model and it's going to stay the same your entire life, it's not. I started Fit Body Bootcamp back in 2012. We became a franchise. Now we've got hundreds of locations throughout Canada and US, and we're about to enter 2 other different countries. But with that in mind, in that time since 2012, Fit Body Bootcamp has seen 5 different iterations in terms of reinventing itself. And when you think about it, if a business can't reinvent itself, it will soon perish, because there's always someone out there trying to do what you're doing, but better. So you have to create faster than they can copy. So you have to create faster than they can copy. So there's a big lesson for you there. But the lesson for today's video vlog is that even if you are a public speaker like I am, these days I get paid to do keynotes, and quite honestly, if you're wondering what keynote makes me the most nervous, it's here, right here at the Fit Body Bootcamp World Conference, because these people are like family. These franchise owners who run our locations worldwide, they are like family to me. And so it's like getting up in front of your family members and giving a presentation, knowing that they're here because they want to hear you speak, they want to know what your vision is, they want to know what's happening next in the brand, and they are inspired and motivated by you. And your job is really to move them to an action. Right, let's go in here where I could be a little louder. We're going to go in the sponsorship area. So with that in mind, if your job then is to inspire and move people towards action, what do you do as a public speaker? First of all, I need you guys to understand. Number one, if you decide that you want to be a public presenter, keynote speaker, do not ever be that guy or gal that wants to take the stage and go, I'm going to tell you my story. No one really wants to hear your story. No matter how interesting our stories are, no one really wants to hear your story. What they want to hear is what information is going to change their life. They want to hear what's in it for them, not your story. So while your story may be inspirational because you overcame hardship, did hard things in your life, you had to overcome adversities and tragedies, and we all have a story. At the end of the day, how does it apply to them? So I'm not saying don't share your story, but I'm saying when you're sharing your story, make sure you weave in the lessons and go, here's how you could apply this experience that I had to your life. Maybe it's an experience of resiliency, or a time that you had to be resourceful, or a time that you had to heal from trauma, or a time that you had your back against the wall and you had to figure out a way out to get yourself out of debt or to get yourself out of a tight position, right? So that's thing number one. Always think about what's in it for my audience, and not let me just tell them my story. We're not up there for self-gratification. We are up there to inspire and to move people towards action. Thing number 2, when you're telling and speaking and sharing from the stage, remember this structure: icebreaker. Start off with an icebreaker. If you can make them laugh, if you can make them think, like ponder, if you can start with a question that makes them think, like imagine if blah, blah, blah didn't happen and imagine if your mom and dad never met and you never existed. What do you think the world would be like without you in it? That's a question, an icebreaker that makes them think. Maybe you say something that makes them laugh. But first off, here's the structure. You want to have an icebreaker. Secondly, you want to tell them what they're about to learn, right? A bullet point of what I'm about to teach you is going to help you lose weight, make more money, grow your franchises bigger and faster. It's going to help you understand your emotions and thoughts better, whatever. Let them know what you're going to teach them in terms of outcome, and teach them those things, right? And then number 4, close by asking a commitment question. Do I have your commitment that you will take these 3 things that I just taught you and apply them them to your life every day and become the best version of yourself so you can serve more people in the world. And they're gonna say yes, and then you go, great, thank you, bam, my job is done, and you leave the stage. I believe that, and I hope you do too. Do I have your commitment to make these changes? Yes? All right, I love you, my job is done, thank you. And so if you can follow those 4 structures in terms of a presentation, that's helped me do really, really, really well. Now, let's talk about the third and final thing that people always ask me, which is nerves. What do I do? I'm nervous. Like, I'm here to tell you that after 1,100 paid presentations, I still get nervous. I still get sweaty. I still get a lump in my throat. But imagine if you didn't get nervous, how complacent would you be? My therapist once told me that where anxiety and preparation meet, that is where you perform at the highest level. Now, if your anxiety is way too high, oh my God, with a lump in my throat, or I can't control my body shaking, or oh my God, I'm sweating profusely, or oh my God, I think I'm gonna pass out and poop myself, your anxiety is way too high and your preparation was not enough, right? Or if you've over-prepared, there's not enough like nerves and anxiety, then you're gonna come off kind of bland. You're gonna come off kind of So remember, nerves are okay. I'm an introvert. I do not like getting in front of thousands of people like you see in that room. However, I know that I'm a man on a mission, and for my mission to continue, I have to get in front of thousands of people and become an extrovert for an hour or 90 minutes at a time and deliver the thunder and be able to inspire and motivate and move people towards an action and an outcome. So that's what I want you to take away is don't think that nerves mean that you're not meant for this. Nerves mean that you are prepared for this as long as you can have your nerves, your anxiety meets preparation right at the peak. Don't let those lines cross. Right at the peak of anxiety and preparation is where you're going to perform the best on stage. So let's just summarize this real quick for you guys. Thing number 1, you want to tell your story, but encapsulate it with lessons for the audience. Specific lessons. They shouldn't have to find the lessons in your story. You should be able to go, here's lesson number 1 from my story. Here's lesson number 2 from my story. Here's lesson number 3 from my story. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is have the 4-step structure. A icebreaker. You got to tell them what they're about to learn. And then you tell them the 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you're going to tell them. And I don't care if you use a PowerPoint. Like in the beginning, I started using PowerPoints because it kind of was like a crutch. It helped me get along. It reminded me of what my talking points were. And then now these days, I just get up on stage and I already know. I speak through radiance because I've done, hundreds and hundreds of repetitions. And then step 4 of that structure is a call to action. You get a commitment. Hey, do I have your commitment on taking action on these 4 things that I just taught you today? The answer is yes. Great, then my job is done. Or great, then go to this website. Or great, go to the back of the room and fill out that application to join a coaching program. Whatever it is that you're selling. And so hopefully this gives you a lot of insight. And finally, the third thing I want to leave you with is nerves. Nerves are okay. If you're an introvert, it is absolutely okay to be an introvert. Public speaking is not just for the extroverts in the world. We can do it as well. And it's one of the greatest growth experiences that you will ever have. I promise you that. By the way, if you ever want to become a Fit Body Bootcamp owner, go ahead and click the link in the description box of this video. You can apply to be a Fit Body Bootcamp owner if there's a territory available in your area. And if you're watching this and you want to join me at Bedros Keuilian Live, click the link in the description box. But I hope that this helped you become a better speaker, put on better events, and I'll see you guys next time.